Hello, dear viewers. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this latest edition of the News in English on Rwanda Television. My name is Sarah Shinhori. Now, let us begin with the headlines. Prime Minister Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva has addressed parliamentarians on the progress being made in Rwanda's health sector. Ambassador Martin Ngoga has delivered Rwanda's statement on the situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo to the UN Security Council. Now, straight to the details. I'm glad you're able to join us. The Prime Minister of the country, Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva, has told members of the Parliament that the government continues to give priority to building a healthcare system that is close to the citizens with the capacity to provide quality services that are timely and easily accessible. In the discussion focused on continuing to build a healthy, secure and self-respecting Rwandan, the Prime Minister explained that the government has strategies grouped into 5 pillars, including continuing to strengthen primary health care, increasing the health workforce, improving health infrastructure, and other measures that reinforce the sector as a foundation of the country's economic development. In order for Rwanda to have a strong healthcare system, the Prime Minister said that it requires skilled and sufficient personnel, emphasizing in particular the visible progress Rwanda has made in increasing the number of specialist doctors since the implementation of the Vision 2050 began. Even though Rwanda is making encouraging progress, figures show that non-communicable diseases such as high blood pressure, type 1 and type 2 diabetes, cancer, as well as mental health conditions continue to increase. Members of Parliament and senators, that is including the senators, requested that the issue of mental health receive greater attention because it is worrying. Another major step that has been taken toward making Rwanda a hub for international health services is the establishment of the Kigali Health City, which brings together hospitals providing advanced services, medical training institutions, and research centers with the aim of advancing healthcare services and innovation in the sector. The Prime Minister emphasized that the government will continue to expand and build on what Rwanda has already achieved so far, every Rwandan may benefit from a strong, inclusive and innovation-driven healthcare system. He said that the government remains committed to continuing to strengthen the health sector so that Rwandans may enjoy better health, enabling them to work and contribute to the country's development under the Vision 2050. Now, staying on health matters, Prime Minister Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva has stated that the recent reforms to contributions under Mutuelle de Santé, that is the community-based health insurance, are not intended to place a heavy burden on citizens, but rather to strengthen the scheme so that it can respond to serious illnesses that have often affected residents, with some lacking the means to pay for treatment. The Prime Minister told both chambers of Parliament that the Mutuelle de Santé scheme helps Rwandans find solutions among themselves and that it has delivered significant results. Referring to the recent reforms aimed at strengthening the financial capacity of Mutuelle de Santé, the Prime Minister, as we just noted, said that the increase in the medicines and illnesses covered by the scheme required the fund to have greater resources so that it can fulfill its responsibilities, and that citizens should therefore not view this as a burden imposed on them by the government. Some members of Parliament have welcomed the scheme, saying that were residents who used to lack the means to seek treatment for serious illnesses, and that some of those illnesses ended up costing them their lives. They, however, asked that before the reforms begin to be enforced, errors identified by residents in the social categories in which they have been placed first be corrected, as these may leave them unable to pay. On this issue, the Prime Minister assured those who were present and who have concerns about the reforms in general, as well as those facing problems related to the categories in which they were placed, that discussions are ongoing in order to find solutions. Since Mutuelle de Santé was introduced back in 1999, it has now become the most widely used form of health coverage, with 88% of residents in the country relying on it, especially for healthcare services. The amount spent by the Mutuelle de Santé Fund has continued to rise over the past 10 years, increasing from 39 billion Rwandan francs during the 2015-2016 fiscal year to 98 billion during the 2024-2025 fiscal year to ease the burden of contributions on residents. The government has said that it will continue to subsidize citizens by covering 52% so that the Mutuelle de Santé Fund can obtain the budget it needs to function effectively. Now, as we noted in the headlines, at Thursday's UN Security Council meeting presided over by the US Senior Ambassador for Arab and African Affairs, Masad Boulos, the Ambassador, Martin Goga, delivered Rwanda's statement on the situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The ambassador's intervention highlighted the following: a sharp escalation in drone strikes and aerial attacks targeting populated areas in Goma and Minembwe, resulting in civilian casualties, including the death of a humanitarian worker. Addressing the persistent FDLR threat and its growing genocide ideology in public discourse as indispensable to any lasting solution, the Washington Agreement and Doha Framework as peace efforts that must be enforced in an even-handed manner, ensuring all parties are equally bound by their commitments, and Rwanda's continued commitment to the Washington Peace Agreement and support of the Doha Framework for Peace. Take a look.
So Rwanda fully supports a peaceful and political resolution of the situation in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, with a clear focus on addressing the root causes of the protracted challenges facing the region. We remain committed to engaging constructively in efforts aimed at achieving a durable and sustainable solution. Mr. President, the conflict in the Eastern DRC is not of Rwanda's making. Rwanda's concern has always been the FDLR and the genocidal ideology it carries, an ideology that is now spreading in public discourse. The FDLR is not an ordinary armed group. It is a genocidal force founded by remnants of those responsible for the 1994 genocide against the Tutsis in Rwanda, and its genocidal ideology has never changed. For Rwanda, it remains an ever-present threat, particularly given the devastation of our country suffered as a result of that ideology. After 31 years of discussion in this chamber on the origins and intentions of FDLR, there should not be any ambiguity. This is a group whose intent is to exterminate a people. Let me therefore be clear. Addressing the threat of FDLR is indispensable to any credible and lasting solution to the conflict in Eastern DRC. This group must be neutralized, and their ideology and its vectors, such as hate speech, must be eradicated. Turning to the broader situation described in the Secretary General's report, it is clear that the developments in Eastern DRC are also shaped by the internal dynamics that require Congolese-led solutions and sustained attention to the root causes of the conflict. In this regard, the Doha Framework for Peace provides an important platform for dialogue aimed at addressing these internal drivers of instability. Progress in this process is therefore essential. Progress in the Doha process, advancing in parallel with the implementation of the Washington Peace Agreement, will be critical to achieving a durable ceasefire and creating the conditions for a sustainable political settlement. It is through this peace process that long-standing historical issues, including those affecting minority groups, will be addressed in a definitive manner. This track also provides the framework to finally resolve enduring challenges, such as the dignified return of refugees who have remained in camps for nearly 3 decades, 300,000 of them in the region and many others in Western countries. Equally important is the role of partners supporting these processes, and we thank the United States government, the government of Qatar, and the African Union for their efforts in the mediation process. The success of these efforts will depend on continued engagement that is impartial and firmly grounded in facts and verifiable evidence. Decisions and actions taken in support of peace must ensure that all parties remain equally bound by the commitments they have made. Enforcement and support mechanisms should apply equally and justly to all parties. In other words, enforcement and support mechanisms for these peace processes must not only be even-handed, they should also be seen to be even-handed. Mr. President, the Secretary General's report highlights the rising number of protection incidents and the devastating humanitarian consequences of ongoing hostilities. Recent months have also seen an escalation in the use of drone strikes and other aerial attacks in populated areas. As the report notes, such attacks have already resulted in civilian casualties, including the tragic strike in Goma area this month that killed a humanitarian worker and other civilians. While not all incidents received the same level of international attention, communities across the high plateau and the other affected areas continue to bear the consequences of escalating aerial attacks. And allow me, Mr. President, in all humility, to mention just some of these attacks such that they can find their place in the records of the Council and can possibly inform the Council members in your future deliberations. On January 22nd, on January 24th, 12th February, 7th March, 9th March, 19th March, and as recent as yesterday, there were drone strikes in the area of Minembwe and some parts of North Kivu. In all these attacks, civilians were killed. All their cows, their lifelines were killed. All residents were not able to go out and do the farming. So I hope these two will be considered. And the dates are of essence. The dates are of essence. Allow me to conclude by reiterating Rwanda's commitment to the Washington Peace Agreement and our continued support of the Doha Framework for Peace. The agreements reached under these processes must now be translated into concrete progress on the ground. The effective functioning of the agreed monitoring mechanisms will be critical to building confidence, ensuring accountability and supporting the full implementation of these commitments. If we remain focused on implementation and on addressing the root causes of this conflict, we have a genuine opportunity to move towards a durable and lasting peace in the region. Rwanda pledges that we shall play our part honestly and fully. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Council members, for your attention.
Ambassador Martin Goga addressing the UN Security Council on Thursday. Now, staying with security matters, the Ministry of Defense and the Rwanda Defense Force have hosted defense attachés and associates accredited to Rwanda for a security briefing at the defense headquarters in Kimihurura. Participants were updated on Rwanda's internal and external security situation, as well as the RDF's contributions to United Nations peacekeeping missions and bilateral military operations. In his opening remarks, Brigadier General Patrick Karuretwa, the Director General of the International Military Cooperation at the Ministry of Defense, emphasized that the regular security briefing serves as a unique and valuable platform for frank and constructive dialogue on regional and global security dynamics. Following a series of presentations and an interactive session, the Dean of the Defense Attachés, Brigadier General Mohammed Magani Yusuf Mohammed, Defense Attaché of the Republic of Sudan to Rwanda, expressed appreciation for the briefing, describing it as informative. The event was attended by 36 defense attachés and associates representing various countries and international organizations, including Angola, Brazil, Botswana, China, Denmark, Egypt, Ethiopia, France, Ghana, Germany, Israel, Italy, Japan, Jordan, Kenya, Luxembourg, Morocco, Namibia, Poland, Qatar, the Republic of Korea, Russia, Senegal, Sudan, Sweden, Tanzania, Turkey, Uganda, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and Zimbabwe, as well as the European Union and the International Committee of the Red Cross. Now, the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources has called on the private sector to invest more in agriculture so that production may continue to increase. This was discussed during talks that brought together different actors in the food value chain. Farmers growing vegetables and maize in marshlands have noted that challenges continue with the high cost of fertilizer and insufficient markets when crops are harvested and are among the factors hindering their farming activities. The head of the Rwandan Association that brings together agricultural advisory service providers, Innocent Nabana, says that efforts are underway to address the challenges that prevent farmers from achieving better yields.
Vision 2050, NST2, PSTF 5, and other forum, as it was mentioned, like Umushyikirano of 2019, all point at the same direction. Agriculture must become more productive, more resilient, more market-oriented, and more responsive to farmers' needs. We also know that these ambitions will not be achieved without an effective extension system that can reach farmers with practical, timely, and professional support. The dialogue will therefore focus on 3 topics that will guide our discussion today: clarifying the ministry direction under the customized agriculture extension system, strengthening the role of private actors in extension, and ensuring that advisory services effectively support the operationalization of the food basket sites. Those are not abstract policy questions. They are practical issues that will determine whether farmers receive the support they need to raise productivity and improve their livelihood. As you all know, ROPAS was established in June 2024 and was registered with RGB on May 29, 2025. We are therefore still a young organization. For that reason, today is a special milestone for us. To have reached this stage in such a short time is both encouraging and humbling. It reflects the commitment of our members and the confidence shown by our partners. We are grateful to Minagri, to our regional partners, and to every individual and institution that supported this event to happen.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources, Dr. Olivier Kamana, explained that the role of the private sector is one of the key factors that will raise agricultural production in the country.
For many years, our extension efforts have relied mainly on public infrastructure, including RAB, district agronomists, farmer promoters, and FFS facilitators. Their contributions remain valuable and deserves recognition. At the same time, the scale of our national ambition requires us to broaden the system. Public extension alone cannot meet the growing demand for specialized, timely, and market-driven advisory services. This is why the ministry is emphasizing stronger private sector participation in extension. Private extension is essential if we are to deliver quality support closer to farmers, cooperatives, and agribusinesses. It can bring specialization, innovation, and responsiveness while complementing public services. This is particularly important for the rollout of the food basket site approach, where success depends not only on production targets, but also on strong farmer organization, access to quality inputs, tailored advisory support, aggregation, market linkages, and climate-smart practices. In that process, extension is the bridge between policy and results on the ground. As private extension grows, professionalism must grow with it. We need a legal and institutional framework that ensures that advisory services are provided with qualified, accountable, and ethical professionals. Such a framework should support regulation, certification, and continuous capacity building. In this regard, Rwanda already has useful experience to learn from. The Rwanda Council of Veterinary Doctors is an active example of professional regulation in practice. Its mandate around standards, certification, and professional oversight offers important lessons. We should draw on that experience as we consider how to extend a similar approach to agricultural advisory services, especially in support of the food basket size and the wider transformation agenda. The establishment of appropriate professional council or regulatory framework for agricultural extension practitioners would help strengthen service quality, build public confidence, and support the long-term development of private extension in Rwanda. This is not about creating structures for their own sake. It's about ensuring competence, credibility, and impact. Allow me also to commend ROPAS. It's impressive that an organization established recently in June 2024 has, in such a short time, reached this stage of mobilization and engagement. This progress reflects commitment, vision, and hard work. We appreciate ROPAS for bringing professionals together and for positioning itself as a constructive partner in the transformation of agricultural extension.
Under the country's national strategy for transformation, that is the second phase of NST2, Rwanda aims to increase the production of selected crops by as much as 50% and expand agricultural extension services, reaching farmers from 35% in 2024 to 69% by 2029. Now, women engaged in agriculture as well as in domestic and cross-border trade say that being taught and trained on how to work with financial institutions has helped them to improve their lives. This comes as more than 35,000 women in Rwanda have already been provided by Equity Group Foundation with knowledge in financial literacy and asset management. The Executive Secretary of the Equity Group Foundation in Rwanda has noted that supporting women is one of the pillars of sustainable development because when a woman makes progress, it benefits the family unit as a whole, as well as the country. Equity Bank says it will continue helping women and young people access loans and that it is also preparing an easier way to obtain loans through mobile phone technology. Now, the management of Cold Solutions Rwanda has announced plans to invest between $25 million and $30 million in the construction of a state-of-the-art cold storage facility expected to be completed by June of next year. Olive Nete with more on that.
The company already operates a small facility that is supporting fruit and vegetable exporters who previously lacked adequate cold chain infrastructure to preserve product quality before accessing international markets. Insufficient cold storage capacity has long been a major challenge for Rwanda's horticulture and livestock sectors, leading to significant post-harvest losses for traders dealing in fruits, vegetables, and flowers. In response, Cold Solutions Rwanda has commissioned a 100-ton capacity cold storage unit aimed at improving product handling and extending shelf life. Susan Juguna, operations manager at the Cold Solutions Rwanda, says the $1 million investment in the current facility was driven by the urgent need to reduce losses and maintain export standards.
Very happy that we are able to set up this facility here. As most exporters would express, that cold chain is very central to horticultural exports. And also, cold chain has been a challenge in the country, whereby you may have a break between farm and the packhouse, then you have a cold chain in the packhouse, then there is another break to the airport. So as Cold Solutions, we are coming in to bridge in the gap on cold chain, whereby we are a warehousing facility and also we are providing cold solutions and logistics. So in this case, we have a new facility here that is fully covered in terms of cold chain, right from raw material receiving to processing to dispatch. All our products are being handled in controlled temperatures. And we can be able to have zoning of temperatures where we can handle different products depending on their temperature demands.
Recent geopolitical tensions involving Iran, Israel, and the United States have also exposed vulnerabilities in the sector. Within just 10 days, avocado exporters alone reportedly suffered losses up to 100 million Rwandan francs. Export companies such as Souk Farms are utilizing Cold Solutions Rwanda's facility to store produce before shipping to key European markets, including the United Kingdom, Belgium, and the Netherlands.
So Cold Solution is our partner facility that has provided us with facility for packing our products. We do a range of products, vegetables and fruits. On the vegetables, we do different vegetables. The ones that are very sensitive to temperature to the ones that are a bit tolerant to temperature. So we do tender stem broccoli, we do fine beans, we do chilies, we do Karela, we do baby corn. On the fruit side, we do mangoes, we do avocado. Our quality has increased by almost 50% since we started working here. We used to have a lot of rejections at Naeb due to temperature changes and fluctuations within different packing hours. But now, here if you can see everywhere the temperature is cool, that is required for packing vegetables. So yes, I can again say Cold Solution is one of the greatest partnerships that Souk has had between last year and this year.
Meanwhile, construction is underway at a 2-hectare site in the Masoro Economic Zone, where a larger advanced cold storage complex is being developed at a cost between 25 to 30 million US dollars. According to the company's commercial director, Julie Igiraneza, the new facility will not only support agriculture and livestock products, but will also provide storage for pharmaceuticals, including medicines and vaccines.
Yeah, the solution that we bring to the market and to the region at large is the temperature-controlled solution, preserving agricultural produce, preserving food, supporting companies like those that do export to the global markets, and also enabling them with facilities like this one, they are able to compete favorably on the global market. Yeah, and also, of course, supporting local companies like those ones that are in food manufacturing. They are able to store with us. Here, this facility will be able to go up to minus 40 degrees. Say, for example, if products are brought here and the temperature is already compromised, we'll be able to bring that up to the normal temperature so that we can be able to maintain that.
Cold Solutions currently operates across Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, and Rwanda, positioning itself as a key player in East Africa's cold chain logistics sector. In 2025, Rwanda exported over 100,000 tons of fruits, vegetables, and flowers, generating more than 86 million US dollars in revenue, up from 75 million US dollars in 2024, highlighting the sector's steady growth and the increasing importance of cold storage infrastructure.
Now, sports news. And Rwanda has officially kicked off the FIFA Series 2026, marking yet another milestone in hosting international football competitions. The opening matches delivered early excitement as Aruba secured a 4-1 victory over Macau, while Tanzania fell 1-0 to Liechtenstein in a tightly contested encounter. William Evans Mutawazi with the details.
The games held at Kigali Pele Stadium attracted football fans eager to witness global action on home soil, reinforcing Rwanda's growing reputation as a hub for international sporting events. This is among the things that made me so happy. Seeing Rwanda host these games shows great commitment from our government to be able to host such an international tournament. This is simply rare, pure joy, witnessed once again here at Pele Stadium. It is also a rare opportunity for Rwandans. A country that is peaceful will attract more events like this. Amavubi is very good. We stand a chance to win this tournament. My prediction is 4-0 in favor of Rwanda. Some of the coaches who spoke to us commended the warm reception they've received, as well as the high level of organization surrounding the tournament. They also noted that beyond competition, the FIFA series presents valuable opportunities to scout talent, particularly from Rwanda and the wider region.
I'm very pleased to be here for playing this FIFA series. It's a very interesting and very nice country, Rwanda. I appreciate very much the loyalty, the hospitality that Rwanda has given to us. Today's game, I believe our players are not used to the heat. We had 2 days of training in the wet, rainy weather. So, as you say, Rwanda has got a change of weather every minute or every half an hour. It's a good experience. I believe that there are a lot of opportunities. Many players I can see. I've seen, by passing by, I've seen some players on the road also. So I believe that there are a lot of players. Scouting is one of the most important parts for us coaches. And probably, I hope we can get some players or something back for the league.
I think it's a great opportunity that FIFA gives the smaller countries also the opportunity to play in other region. So this is the first time in Africa. The people in Rwanda are beautiful. It's an honor to be here. Everything is good. So it's very, very nice to be here. Our team is also very young. So before it was difficult to get them to play for Aruba because much of the players live in Holland. But now they see they got the bigger opportunity to play in other countries. What you say, a lot of scouts, they come also play for Aruba.
Meanwhile, the State Minister in the Ministry of Sports, Rwego Ngarambe, has called on all Rwandans to turn up in large numbers to support and enjoy the matches. He also expressed confidence in the national team Amavubi, saying they are well prepared for the upcoming fixture.
twiteguye neza nkuko mwabibonye araho imibikino iri kubera.
We are well prepared, as you witnessed, be it in terms of hosting, the venues and supporters, and how teams are performing. So far so good, and we hope to maintain the momentum. These games were organized with support from different partners, and we appreciate them, be it those who sponsored the games, those who brought their technical expertise, both on the side of FIFA, Ferwafa, and the Ministry of Sports, and other partners. We also call upon all Rwandans to continue showing up and supporting, especially Amavubi, that plays tomorrow at Amahoro Stadium. The FIFA series continue through March 30th with more exciting matches expected as teams battle for pride and performance on Rwandan soil. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Olive Nete will be with you for the next edition of the news. I hope you join her, and I'm glad you joined me. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.